Asterix and Obelix, the true story. Long, long ago, in times before our era, during the great flourishing of the Roman Empire, where Julius Caesar ruled, there was a small village of Gauls in northern Gaul, practically a stone's throw from the sea, which was the only one that did not succumb to the pressure of the Roman army. This village endured thanks to a magic potion brewed by their druid Panoramix. After drinking it, one gained superhuman strength, which was used by the warriors from this village, making them so strong in battle that a single man could crush a Roman legion, that is, about 5,000 people. This is what we know about the village from the polite version of René Goscinny and Albert Uderzo. Below is the diary of a Roman legionnaire, Publius Cornelius Caius, found in a rather damaged state in northern Gaul, in the ruins of a village dated to the 1st century BC. The original has been translated, and places where parts of the text were missing have been replaced with 21. Ave Caesar, today we arrived at... From here, the Gallic village. We have with us many, and will be built of wood and hay. All it takes is tinder and for it to go up in smoke in the name of already tomorrow. And when the last village of Gallic barbarians falls, I will return to my Olympia. I can't and... Guard. The 21st of September. Yesterday. One of his head was crushed. We didn't find his funeral tomorrow. Soldier. Guards the rear of the machines today. The second cohort moves. Ave Caesar. September Ave Caesar. The losses are enormous, despite. On the battlefield says, torn limbs or crushed armor tomorrow. All night. The village must be captured. Caesar's Ave Caesar. The 30th of September. We're withdrawing. Slaughterhouse like in a forest full of... We have an advantage of 100 to a few. Fight with bare hands. I'm in... The diary is no longer in the best condition. It was stabbed and punctured for unknown reasons. Many pages have been torn out. These last notes describe the last moments of the legionnaire's life, at least according to archaeologists. Studying Roman military records, one can conclude that Publius Cornelius Caius was never born. There is no information about his legion or himself, although the note suggests otherwise. It is known, therefore, that he was a person who knew the prefect. In those times, the prefect was an introvert, so it must have been someone important for the prefect to be pleased with our legionnaire. Unfortunately, the trail ends here. Another clue is the ruins of the village, and the bones of its inhabitants, or rather their absence. Yes, graves of a few inhabitants were found, and even underground catacombs of the aforementioned place, but they were empty. The only things found were clothes, jewelry, and white powder, which was initially thought to be snuff or some kind of narcotic. Only after examining the powder was it discovered that these were powdered bones. Further studies showed that they turned to dust just 100 years after the death of their owner. Reminder: human bones decompose for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Examining the ruins of the village, one could come to a surprising conclusion. The village could simultaneously house or accommodate a maximum of 200 inhabitants, and a Roman legion numbered about 5,000 well-trained soldiers. It was physically impossible to naturally defeat such a number of soldiers, supported by siege weapons and having freedom of movement. It's quite possible that this is why no notes about such a legion have survived. The Empire could not allow news of such a crushing defeat to spread among the Romans and the inhabitants of conquered lands. Immediately, dozens of uprisings would break out in different parts of the country. That's why the names of all legionnaires and the entire operation were erased. Further research revealed that, according to the official version, the Gallic village was destroyed by a storm that appeared on the sea and went a bit too far inland, causing the village to find itself in the center of the storm. However, in one of the caves, many destroyed or corroded armors, shields, and helmets typical of Roman legionnaires were found. Unfortunately, worse still, deep in the cave, many human bones were found. Almost all of them had teeth marks and were charred at both ends. Some of them were broken in half. Some clues show that the villagers were not Gauls, but Vikings. This can be seen from the description created by René Goscinny and Albert Uderzo, where, according to them, every Gaul wore a helmet with short horns. Unfortunately, real Gauls did not wear helmets, so Asterix, Obelix, and all the other villagers must have come from a different region. Vikings, on the other hand, had helmets with horns, so it's entirely possible that they are the ones in question. It's unknown whether, due to Mr. Goscinny's error or lack of resources, their horns were short, but there's no doubt that they come from Vikings. This is also evident in the way power is exercised in the village, where individuals such as vital statistics, unhygienics, or fully automatics and their wives rule and hold important functions, while weak individuals like cacophonics are often humiliated and insulted. A notable exception here is Asterix, who, thanks to his cunning, worthy of the Viking god Loki, and probably as the only villager who could write without breaking the pen, enjoyed belonging to the village elite. In Gallic records, there is no mention of either the village or the great defeat. This is probably because Rome effectively masked the news of such a great loss and completely cut off the village from the world. Another possible theory is that the Vikings did not maintain any relations with the Gauls and vice versa, resulting in no communication between them. It is not known, however, how a village of even 200 Vikings managed to defeat an elite army of 5,000. According to Goscinny and Uderzo, this was caused by a magic potion brewed by their druid. Unfortunately, no trace of such a potion was found anywhere. However, plenty of belladonna, amphetamine, heroin, and other psychoactive substances and drugs were found. It's quite possible that these individuals, under the influence of these substances, did not feel fear, pain, and had enough power to be able to defeat the Roman legion. It's also possible that the legion commander was a person without talent and tactical spark, which could have caused him to lose soldiers in hopeless cases, such as sending too few patrols or falling into ambushes. It's quite possible that Asterix, famous for being the smartest villager, poisoned the Romans or sprinkled them with psychoactive substances. Probably all three of the above theories were applied at once and to the same degree. The number of theories and hypotheses justifies the fact that the existence of such a village and the defeat of the Roman Empire for over 2,000 years were silenced, oppressed, and hidden, secretly passed from father to son, because initially the Roman Empire persecuted anyone who had any information about this defeat. Then the Catholic Church persecuted people who knew about it, treating this event as superstition and judging people for heresy. Only after World War II, when people started demanding freedom of speech, did Goscinny decide to publish the story of a certain village. However, because it was a post-war period and people were not interested in old battles, especially those 2,000 years old, He created a polite version of the settlement, a fairy tale for the youngest, analogous to the Grimm brothers' novels. Because, as is commonly known, what is intended for children sells the fastest and best. If you like the story, please leave a subscription. Comment what video you would like to see next and share the video. It means a lot to me. We'll hear from each other soon.